The morning light spilled gently into the cabin, painting the room in soft gold. The twins sat together on the couch, their faint glow brighter than it had ever been. Outside, the forest was quiet, but Alex knew better than to assume the danger had vanished entirely. The Watchers were gone for now, but the universe was unpredictable. The alien mother stood beside them, her expression softer, her glow steady. She reached down and touched the twins' heads lightly. "You have been brave," she said softly. "I see now that my anger was too harsh. You have learned and you have grown." The twins whispered to each other, glowing softly, and then turned to Alex, their large eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you," the older one whispered. The younger twin added, "You kept us safe." Alex smiled gently. "You don't need to thank me. We look out for each other. That's what matters." Max barked softly, tail wagging as if agreeing with him. The warmth in the cabin was comforting, yet Alex could feel the bittersweet weight of the moment. Soon the twins would leave with their mother, but he knew this wasn't really goodbye. The mother stepped back and looked at Alex. "I will take them with me," she said. "But they may return to visit. You have shown them care and courage, qualities I cannot teach alone." Alex nodded, feeling a mixture of pride and sadness. "I'll be here if they ever need me," he said. The twins smiled, their glow flickering in joy, as if understanding the depth of the promise. Outside, the wind stirred the leaves, and faint shimmer of light danced among the trees, hinting at the vast universe waiting beyond this small forest. Alex realized that these little beings, who had once been terrified and abandoned, were now ready to face it. They had learned to trust, to hope, and to be brave. The mother knelt and whispered something in their glowing language. The twins hugged her tightly, and Alex could see tears in their large, shimmering eyes. He stepped closer, letting Max brush against the twins for comfort. "You're going to be okay," Alex said softly. "And remember, you're never alone." The mother looked at him with gratitude. "You have done something remarkable, human. You have protected them, guided them, and shown that even the smallest acts of courage can change the course of many lives." The twins' glowing whispers danced around Alex, sending warmth through his chest. They looked up at him, eyes shining. "We will come back," the older one said. "We promise." Alex smiled, feeling hope bloom inside him. The mother's figure shimmered as she lifted off the ground, the twins floating beside her, held gently in her arms. Max barked once, running to the edge of the cabin, tail wagging. Alex waved, watching as they slowly rose into the sky, leaving behind a faint trail of silver light. For a moment, the cabin felt empty, quieter than it had in days. Alex exhaled slowly, a sense of peace washing over him. The twins were safe. They had hope, and their mother had seen the truth of their courage and growth. Then, as the morning sun fully rose, Alex felt a faint pulse in the air, a signal, subtle but unmistakable. The universe was vast and others might need help. He smiled softly, thinking of the twins' promise. This was not an ending, but a beginning. Courage, empathy, and trust could connect worlds, and he knew he would be ready for whatever came next. Max nudged his hand, bringing him back from his thoughts. Alex patted his loyal companion, smiling. Together they had faced fear, danger, and uncertainty, and they had prevailed. He looked once more at the sky, the trail of silver fading into the distance. Somewhere out there, the twins would remember him, their small, brave human friend who had shown them hope. And Alex knew in his heart that no matter the challenges ahead, hope and courage would always guide them. The cabin was quiet again, but it was filled with warmth, memories, and the promise of new adventures. And as Alex sat by the window, Max resting at his feet, he felt something undeniable. Even in a vast, unknown universe, the heart of humanity, the courage to protect, to trust, and to care, could shine brighter than any star. The forest whispered softly outside, carrying the faint promise of more adventures, more discoveries, and more connections yet to come. And for Alex, Max, and the twins, the future was bright. Dangerous journey. But he also knew this: human courage, combined with trust and clever thinking, could face even the most alien threats. And together, they would not fail. The morning sun filtered through the cabin's curtains, casting soft light across the twins' faces. They were quiet, sitting together on the couch, glowing faintly as they whispered to each other. Alex poured some water into a cup and sat down beside them. Today, he felt he needed to understand more about their past, about why their mother had left them and why they were so scared. "Can you tell me everything?" Alex asked gently. "About why your mother left? About what happened?" The older twin looked at him, eyes wide and filled with fear. We were bad," the twin whispered. The words were barely audible, but Alex understood the weight behind them. The younger twin shook, hiding their face in their hands. "We didn't mean to," they whispered. It just happened." Alex nodded, leaning closer. He could feel the twins' glowing patterns swirling faster in the air, their memories, their emotions, spilling out in soft light. Slowly, the older twin began to show Alex images from their home planet. He saw a city of silver towers, floating lights and skies that shimmered in strange colors. He saw crowds of alien beings and then flashes of chaos, buildings trembling, lights flickering wildly and small explosions. The twins had caused it, but not intentionally. Something had gone wrong while they were playing with their powers, a mistake that escalated far beyond their control. Their mother appeared in the visions, her face stern, eyes filled with sorrow. She tried to stop them, to calm them, but it was too late. The chaos had grown too large. Alex's heart ached for the little beings. He understood. They were children, learning and experimenting, and yet the consequences had scared even their mother. We didn't want to hurt anyone," the older twin whispered. "We just played, and she left." The younger twin clung to them, whispering soft apologies that Alex could feel, even without understanding all the words. Alex reached out, placing a hand gently on the older twin's glowing arm. "Listen," he said softly. "Everyone makes mistakes. Humans do too. You didn't mean to. That doesn't make you bad. It makes you learning. It makes you brave for keeping going." The twins looked at him, eyes wide, a faint glow of hope flickering across their faces. For the first time, they seemed to believe someone could understand them. Alex could feel the weight of their fear, their guilt, and their hope, all mixed together in the soft light around them. Just then, a faint hum reached the cabin. Alex froze. Outside, the air shimmered with faint light, moving slowly through the trees. The watchers had returned. He knew instantly whoever was controlling them, perhaps their mother's forces, was drawing closer. The twins whispered urgently to each other, glowing patterns spinning faster in alarm. "Stay calm," Alex whispered firmly. "We'll face this together." Max growled low, ears pricked, ready to defend. Suddenly, a voice echoed from the edge of the forest, melodic yet commanding. "Children," it said softly, almost sorrowful. Alex's heart pounded. The twins froze, their glowing patterns flickering in fear. The voice was their mother. "She's here," the older twin whispered, barely audible. Their small hands trembled as they clung to each other. Alex felt the tension spike in the room. This was the moment of truth. The twins' past, their mistakes, and the reason for their fear were all about to collide with the present. Alex stood, putting himself between the twins and the door. "It's okay," he said, voice firm. "No one will hurt you, I promise." The twins' mother stepped into view, tall and regal, with eyes that seemed to pierce through the room. Yet behind the stern gaze, Alex could see sadness and worry. She was not angry. She was afraid for them. The twins whispered quickly to her, showing their glowing memories, their fears, and their apologies. Alex watched as her expression softened slightly. The weight of the past was heavy, but it was clear she was starting to understand. Alex spoke gently, as if explaining to both the twins and their mother. They didn't mean to cause harm. They're children. They've learned, they've grown, and they need someone to guide them now, not punish them. The mother paused, considering his words. Her glowing patterns flickered faintly in acknowledgement. Slowly she nodded. The tension in the cabin eased slightly, though the threat outside had not fully vanished. Alex knew the danger wasn't gone, but this was a step toward peace. The twins huddled close to each other, their fear slowly melting into relief. For the first time, they felt that perhaps their mistakes didn't define them. Perhaps someone, human, with courage and compassion, could see their worth beyond their errors. Alex smiled softly, looking at Max, who wagged his tail. "See," he whispered, "you're not alone, and you're not bad. You're brave." Outside, the shadows of the forest seemed to pause, as if acknowledging the shift inside. The watchers had not disappeared, but the air felt lighter. The revelation had changed something. Hope was now stronger than fear, and courage stronger than guilt. And Alex knew deep down that no matter what happened next, they were no longer just two small aliens running from the past. They were a family now, bound by trust, courage, and the hope that even the smallest beings could survive the darkest dangers. The forest was silent, but the tension inside the cabin was thick. Alex stood in front of the twins, Max at his side, as the alien mother stepped closer. Her presence was commanding, glowing faintly in the dim morning light. Her eyes, sharp and penetrating, scanned the cabin, and her gaze rested on Alex. "You have kept them hidden," she said, voice melodic but firm. "Why?" Alex met her gaze without fear. "Because they are scared and alone. They didn't mean to hurt anyone. They deserve protection, not punishment." The mother's glow flickered, showing a mixture of anger and concern. "You do not understand. Their mistakes caused chaos on our planet. They are my responsibility. They must return." The twins trembled behind Alex, their hands glowing faintly as they whispered to each other. Alex put a hand gently on each of them. "I understand your responsibility," he said. "But I also understand that they are children. They have learned and they are better now. You cannot take them back without seeing that." Her eyes narrowed, and she stepped closer, sending a faint pulse of energy that made the cabin's lamps flicker. Max growled low, hackles raised. Alex didn't flinch. He knew brute force wouldn't work, but cleverness might. He glanced at the windows and the small traps he had set the night before. The branches, the lanterns, the stones. They were simple, but they could give him an advantage. He also noticed the twins' faint glow, which pulsed in time with their fear. An idea formed. "Look," Alex said calmly, raising his hands slightly. "If you want them, you must see that they are not a threat. Let me show you how much they've learned and grown." The mother paused, curiosity flickering in her eyes. She gestured slightly, and the shadows in the trees seemed to shift. Alex nodded to the twins. They whispered to each other quickly, then focused their energy on a small lamp in the corner. The lamp lifted into the air, spinning slowly, glowing softly. Then a few stones moved, hovering in a perfect line. Alex smiled. "See, they have control now. They can think before they act. They can learn and grow. You taught them that, even if you were gone for a while." The mother's glow dimmed slightly as if her anger softened. "Impressive, but courage alone does not change responsibility." Alex stepped forward, calm and confident. "Then let me help you. Let me guide them with you. They don't have to face punishment, they can face learning, and I can protect them while you teach them." Suddenly, a faint hum sounded outside. The scouts or watchers were approaching. The mother's glow flared with alertness. Alex didn't panic. He signaled Max, who barked sharply, running to the door. The small trap set earlier caught the first scout in a net of branches and lanterns, causing a brief commotion outside. The mother's eyes widened, and she looked at Alex. "You protect them well." "Human," Alex nodded. "I protect those who cannot protect themselves. That's what humans do." The twins glowed softly, whispering to each other in joy and relief. Their mother stepped closer and touched them lightly. Alex noticed the tension in her body relax for the first time. She looked at him with something like gratitude. "Perhaps I misjudged you." The scouts outside retreated, their lights fading among the trees. The immediate threat was gone, at least for now. Alex exhaled slowly, keeping his stance steady. Max wagged his tail, watching the mother carefully. "Children," she said softly, kneeling to meet their height. "You have been brave, and you have learned. I see that now." The twins' glow brightened, and they whispered excitedly to each other. Alex felt a swell of pride. The mother looked at him again. "You have done what I could not. You have protected them when I could not. Perhaps there is hope for them yet." Alex smiled. "There is always hope, especially if we face danger together, not alone." The tension in the cabin eased, though the outside world was still uncertain. The mother stayed close to the twins, her sternness replaced with care. Alex knew that this was a fragile truce, but it was a start. Courage, clever thinking, and empathy had won this confrontation, not force. The twins glowed softly, whispering happily to each other. Max lay at their feet, ever watchful, and Alex stood, calm and ready, knowing that the true challenge was only beginning, but together they could face anything. The next morning, the cabin was quiet, except for the soft breathing of the twins and the steady rhythm of Max's paws on the wooden floor. Alex brewed some coffee and poured himself a cup, careful not to make a sound that would wake them. The twins had stayed close to the couch all night, eyes wide open at every little noise. He knew trust would take time. Alex sat down at the table and watched them from a distance. "Good morning," he said softly. The twins flinched slightly but did not run. Max wagged his tail slowly, letting out a soft whine as if to encourage them. The younger twin, still trembling, finally stood and came closer. Alex offered a gentle smile. "You can sit with me. It's safe." The twins hesitated, glancing at each other, then slowly sat across from him. Alex noticed how they often whispered to each other in that strange, glowing language. At first he couldn't understand, but over time he realized it wasn't just words. It was communication of feelings, memories, and small thoughts. He could sense their fear, their sadness, but also curiosity and hope. "You're safe here," Alex said again. "I won't let anyone hurt you. I promise." The older twin looked up, eyes glimmering with the faintest trust. We don't know. Humans," the twin whispered. Alex nodded. "Then you'll learn. Not all humans are bad." For the first time, the twins began to explore the cabin. They touched the furniture carefully, fascinated by objects that were ordinary to Alex, but strange to them. Max followed quietly, sniffing and nudging them when they seemed hesitant. Alex watched, a small smile on his face. He realized that patience was the key. He couldn't force trust, but he could show kindness, courage, and care. Then, the twins attempted something new. The older one reached out a hand toward a small lamp. It floated slightly before dropping. Alex's eyes widened. "You can do that?" he asked softly. The twin nodded nervously, whispering to the younger one. "It's hard," they said. "We try, and sometimes we fail." Alex leaned closer. "Let me help." He thought carefully, watching the lamp. He picked a small stone and placed it under the lamp, showing the twins how to focus. Slowly, the lamp hovered again, steadier this time. The twins gasped, glowing faintly brighter. Alex grinned. "See? A little practice makes things better." Over the next few hours, they tried small things, moving objects, creating faint lights in the air, even making tiny sparks like fireflies. Every time they succeeded, Alex encouraged them, praising their efforts. He could see their confidence growing. More importantly, their trust in him grew. But trust was not the only thing Alex had to build. He also had to protect them. As the day went on, he noticed small signs that someone was watching the cabin. Footprints near the edge of the forest, broken twigs, and faint shimmer of light moving among the trees. Max growled low, pacing the cabin's edge. Alex's heart beat faster. "Don't worry," Alex whispered to the twins, keeping his voice calm. "If anyone comes near, we'll be ready. We're together and that's strong." The twins looked at him, eyes wide but hopeful. The older one whispered something that made Alex realize just how much they understood and trusted him now. You are brave, Max. You helped too." As evening approached, Alex decided to take them outside for a small walk around the cabin. Max led the way, keeping alert. The twins clung to each other, then to Alex's hands. The forest was quieter now, but the shadows seemed to stretch longer, darker. Alex kept a careful eye on every movement. Suddenly, a rustle came from the trees. Alex froze. Max growled, ears perked. The twins hugged each other, trembling, but Alex stayed calm. "It's okay. Nothing will touch you," he said firmly. He raised a stick, ready, and slowly approached the source of the sound. A small rabbit jumped out, startling everyone. Laughter broke out, the first genuine laughter from the twins. Alex smiled, relief washing over him. This small moment was important. Trust was growing, fear was fading, and hope was blooming. Back in the cabin, Alex settled the twins down with a warm drink. He watched them whisper to each other again, glowing faintly in the dim light. Their bond with each other was strong, but now their bond with him was forming. Max lay beside them, a silent guardian. Alex knew this was just the beginning. The twins had powers and secrets, and there were dangers coming for them. But he also knew this: with courage, patience, and care, even the smallest beings could learn to trust and work together. As he looked out the window into the dark forest, he noticed faint shapes moving far away, just beyond the tree line. The watchers had not left. The twins' mother, or someone connected to her, might be approaching. Alex took a deep breath. "We'll face this together," he whispered. Max barked softly, as if agreeing. And for the first time, the twins whispered not only to each other, but to him too. Faintly glowing words that meant one simple thing: hope. Night fell over the cabin, painting the forest in dark shades. Alex lit a few lanterns inside, casting a warm glow over the twins. Max lay at their feet, alert and watchful. Outside, the forest was silent, but Alex could feel the tension in the air. Something was coming. The twins huddled close to each other, their glowing skin flickering faintly. Alex knelt beside them. "Listen," he whispered. "Someone is near, but we can stay safe if we're smart. You don't have to be scared." The twins whispered to each other in their glowing language, the patterns floating softly in the air. Alex could sense their fear. "It's okay," he said again. "I'm here. Max is here. We'll protect each other." Alex moved to the window and peered into the shadows. Faint lights shimmered among the trees, moving slowly. Whoever was out there was searching, scanning the forest. He clenched his fists. They had come for the twins, but he wouldn't let them take them without a fight. He went outside, Max by his side, and began setting up simple defenses. Branches were tied to create noisy traps. Small lanterns were placed in strategic locations to cast confusing shadows, and he picked up stones, ready to throw if needed. The twins watched from the cabin, whispering quietly to each other, occasionally sending glowing patterns into the air that seemed to mimic Alex's movements. Hours passed. The lights outside did not disappear. They moved closer, circling the cabin like predators. Alex's heart raced, but he remained calm. He had to. Fear would not help the twins. He checked the locks on the doors and windows, then turned to the twins. "You two stay inside," he said firmly. "Max and I will keep watch. If anything comes near, don't make a sound. Trust me." The twins nodded, eyes wide. The older twin whispered something that Alex didn't fully understand, but felt the meaning. "Be brave." He smiled softly, pride filling his chest. Suddenly, a faint hum filled the air. Alex looked up and saw a small scout drone hovering just above the trees. Its lights scanned the cabin. He realized immediately that the danger wasn't far away. It was watching, calculating. The twins flinched, hiding behind Max, who growled low and bared his teeth. Alex knew he needed a distraction. He picked up a lantern and tossed it a few feet into the trees. It landed with a small crash, its light flickering wildly. The drone's sensors diverted toward the movement. Max barked, running toward the noise, and Alex followed, keeping careful distance. The twins watched, amazed. They whispered to each other, glowing patterns spinning faster in excitement and fear. Alex returned to the cabin quickly, guiding Max back inside. "See," he said. "We can protect ourselves. You can help too, just by staying calm." The night was long. Faint noises echoed through the trees. Snapping branches, soft metallic hums, and occasional flickers of light. Alex remained vigilant. Every time the twins glowed softly, he knew they were sharing small bursts of their energy, tiny flashes that helped him sense the movements of the watchers outside. Hours later, the forest grew quieter. Alex didn't relax completely, but he allowed himself a small sigh of relief. The twins were still huddled together, but no longer trembling uncontrollably. They looked at him with faint smiles, their glowing light brighter now. "You're safe." "For now," Alex whispered. "But they'll come back. We need to be ready." The twins nodded solemnly, understanding more than words could explain. Just before dawn, Alex noticed faint footprints in the mud near the cabin, larger than his own, unlike anything he had seen before. Someone or something had been close. He realized that their watchers were closer than he thought, possibly waiting for the right moment. The twins whispered to each other in their glowing language, patterns of worry and fear swirling in the air. Alex knelt beside them, holding their small hands. "Don't worry," he said. Whatever comes, we face it together. You are not alone anymore. Max and I will protect you. Outside, the shadows in the forest seemed to lean closer, like they were testing the cabin's defenses. Alex's heart pounded, but he didn't show fear. He knew that his courage and the twins' growing trust was their best defense. As the first light of dawn broke through the trees, Alex allowed himself a small smile. The immediate threat had passed, but he knew it was only temporary. The Watchers would return, stronger and more determined. The twins' mother, or whoever controlled these forces, would not give up easily. Alex stood at the window, looking out over the forest. "We have a little time," he whispered to the twins, "but we need to be ready. We need to be clever, brave, and together." "That's how we survive," Max barked softly as if agreeing. The twins whispered one last message, glowing softly in the early morning light. Hope. Alex knew it was just the beginning of a... Alex adjusted the strap of his backpack and patted Max, his golden retriever, on the head. The sun was dipping behind the hills, casting long shadows across the forest path. It had been a long day of hiking, but the quiet of the woods was peaceful, almost too peaceful. Max sniffed the ground, tail wagging slowly, ears twitching at some sound Alex hadn't noticed. Then came the faintest whisper. It was soft, almost like the rustle of leaves, but Alex froze. "Did you hear that, Max?" he asked. Max barked once, low and cautious, his fur standing slightly on end. The whisper came again, more distinct this time, a soft, trembling voice calling out, "Help, please." Curiosity mixed with concern, and Alex followed the sound, moving quietly between the trees. His heart beat faster with each step. Max stayed close, growling low, yet ready to follow. Soon Alex reached a small clearing. There, sitting huddled together, were two tiny figures. At first, he thought they were children, but the moment their eyes met his, Alex realized they were something else entirely. Their skin glowed faintly, a soft silver blue, and their eyes were too large and shimmering to belong to humans. The smaller twin held tightly to the other, whispering something that Alex couldn't understand. Max stepped forward, his growl fading as he sensed no immediate threat. One of the twins looked up at Alex with wide, scared eyes. The other whispered again, this time in words he could barely hear. We were bad. Mom left us." Alex's heart clenched. Whatever had happened, these two little aliens were terrified and alone. He knelt down slowly, keeping his hands visible. "Hey, it's okay. I'm not going to hurt you," he said gently. The twins flinched but did not run. The forest around them seemed to grow quieter. Even the birds stopped chirping. Alex noticed strange symbols glowing faintly along the twins' arms. They pulsed gently like a heartbeat, almost as if they were alive. He had no idea what they meant, but he knew this was not just a lost child situation. Something bigger was going on. "Max," Alex whispered, "we need to help them." The dog nudged the twins gently, tail wagging, sensing their fear. One of the twins finally spoke louder, voice trembling. "Mom, she left because of us. We made mistakes." Alex's mind raced. Mistakes? What could a child, or in this case alien children, do that would make their mother leave them? He wanted to ask questions, but he also knew this was not the time. The twins needed safety, and Alex had a feeling the forest around them was not as empty as it seemed. A rustling behind the trees made him freeze. Max's ears perked, growling low. Alex turned, scanning the shadows, but saw nothing. Only the twins huddled closer together, whispering to each other in a language he didn't understand. The tension was thick, like the forest itself was holding its breath. "We can't stay here," Alex said finally. "Come with us. You'll be safe at my place." The twins looked at each other nervously. One of them hesitated, then took the other's hand. Slowly, they followed Alex, moving cautiously as if every shadow might hide danger. Max walked beside them, keeping alert, growling softly at every unexpected sound. As they approached the edge of the forest, Alex noticed faint tracks in the dirt, too big for him, too smooth for Max, like someone or something had been following the twins. He frowned. Whoever, or whatever, had left the twins here might not be far behind. The sense of danger made his steps quicker, his heart thudding. By the time they reached his small cabin on the hill, the sun had disappeared completely, and the forest was dark and still. Alex lit a lantern, casting a warm glow over the room. The twins stared around in awe. Everything was strange to them, the furniture, the smell of food, even Max's tail wagging happily. "Sit here," Alex said, pointing to the couch. Max lay down beside them, offering comfort. Alex brought some water and simple food, which they accepted slowly. They still whispered to each other, small phrases like, "safe," "maybe safe." But there was a flicker of hope in their eyes now. Alex watched them closely, thinking of what had brought them here. He didn't know their mother's story, or what mistakes the twins had made, or even why they had ended up alone on this forest path. But one thing was clear: he would protect them. Somehow, he would figure out what had happened, and he would make sure these little aliens were safe. Outside, the wind whispered through the trees. Somewhere deep in the forest, shadows moved, watching. Alex knew this was only the beginning of something bigger, something dangerous. And yet, as he looked at the two glowing twins and Max curled beside them, he felt a spark of hope. Somehow together they might survive whatever was coming. The cabin was quiet, except for the soft whispering of the twins. They sat close together on the couch, eyes wide, still unsure if they could trust Alex. Max lay at their feet, his warm body a small comfort in the strange new environment. Alex moved to the kitchen, preparing some simple food. He knew he had to earn their trust slowly. "Here," he said softly, placing small plates of bread and fruit in front of them. "Eat. You need energy." The twins hesitated, but finally took the food, nibbling cautiously. Alex watched them, noticing the strange way they occasionally tilted their heads, almost listening to sounds he couldn't hear. Something about them felt different, beyond just their glowing skin and large eyes. After a while, one of the twins, the slightly older one, looked at Alex with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Can we talk?" the little voice whispered. Alex nodded. "Of course, you can tell me anything." The twin swallowed hard, then whispered something that made Alex's jaw tighten. He couldn't understand the words, but he felt the meaning clearly. They could communicate without speaking. It was like their thoughts floated into the air, faintly, only meant for each other, and now maybe for him too. The other twin looked ashamed, hiding their face in their hands. We didn't mean to. It just happened," the first whispered. Alex frowned, unsure what he was supposed to understand. He reached out slowly, placing a hand gently on the twin's glowing arm. The glow flickered in response, almost like a pulse. "Whatever happened, it's okay," Alex said calmly. "I won't hurt you. You're safe here." For the first time, the twins seemed to relax. They began to whisper to each other again, their words forming faint glowing patterns in the air, shapes that Alex had never seen before. He realized they were showing him their memories. He blinked in surprise as flashes of distant planets, spaceships, and strange glowing cities filled his mind like a dream. The twins had been running from something, Alex realized. Their mother had not just left them. They were hunted. And whatever had happened on their home planet was serious enough to make them leave, possibly forever. Suddenly, Max growled softly, ears pricked. Alex turned just in time to see a shadow move across the window. He grabbed a flashlight and shone it outside. Nothing, but the feeling of being watched stayed, prickling the back of his neck. The twins flinched, whispering rapidly to each other. Alex could sense their fear. "I think," "Someone is looking for you," Alex said carefully. "Is that right?" The twins nodded. The younger one's small hands shook. They won't stop until they take us back," the older whispered. Alex frowned, feeling a cold knot of worry. Whoever was after them was powerful, and it was clear the twins alone could not escape. Alex took a deep breath. "We'll figure this out," he said. "I won't let anyone hurt you, not as long as I'm here." The twins exchanged a glance, and for the first time, Alex felt a faint sense of trust. They began to show him more of their memories. He saw flashes of their home planet, a city of silver towers and floating lights. The twins' mother appeared in some memories, her face stern but full of sadness. Alex could feel why the twins felt abandoned. Something had gone wrong, and she had felt forced to leave them behind. But there were also glimpses of something darker. Shadowy figures moved through the memories, chasing the twins, sending fear into their hearts. Alex realized the danger was real and immediate. Whoever these hunters were, they could not be underestimated. Can we stay with you?" the older twin whispered finally. Alex nodded. "Yes, as long as you need. You're safe here." The twins' glow brightened slightly, like a small flame of hope in the dark cabin. Alex knew it would not be easy to keep them safe, but he also knew that human courage, clever thinking, and Max's loyalty could make a difference. As night fell, Alex placed extra locks on the doors and windows. He checked his phone and saw no signal, no way to call for help. That was okay. He didn't need anyone else. He would protect them himself. Later, as Alex sat by the fireplace watching the twins sleep, he noticed a faint shimmer outside, like a light reflecting off metal. His heart skipped a beat. Whoever had been tracking them might be coming closer. The twins murmured in their sleep, whispering fragments of their fears, and Alex felt a surge of determination. "We'll get through this," he whispered to himself. "You're not alone anymore." And in the darkness, beyond the trees, faint lights moved, scanning the forest. Alex did not yet know who or what was coming for the twins. But he knew one thing. He would stand between them and any danger, no matter how alien or powerful it was. Some secrets were hidden, some memories were dangerous, and some threats were closer than he thought. But Alex had hope, and hope was something even the darkest aliens could not take away.